We rented vans, and each group is in a different van, and we are the dancing van, and we've spent a lot of time singing and dancing on our way to the sites. And I think part of that is for us to have a release and to have fun and relax, and then as we get closer to the site, we become much more quiet, and I think that also helps us get ready for what's to come.
I figured we'd be taking bats or something and knock out walls, and you know, surveying a house and looking at the complexity of that house and how you were going to get it apart seemed pretty daunting at the beginning.
Our group actually did almost the three stages of gutting. First, we cleared out the house, the one house the first day, but we didn't get into gutting. The second day, we gutted a house that had already been cleaned out, and the third day, we painted a house that had already been gutted.
The first house that I was in, I thought we were going to be, you know, gutting houses, and there's still stuff in it. Nothing had been taken out, and it was a building that was 2 stories high and in a place where the water had been up to the roof line.
Everything that they owned was still, you know, where it was after the hurricane had hit, and so I think that really took everybody by surprise. So we removed belongings for a full day and didn't even finish.
Basically, I kept taking wheelbarrows full of refuse and taking them out to the curb and emptying them again and again and again. And used a shovel to shovel the contents into the wheelbarrow and take it out to the wheelbarrow. We did the kitchen. I have never seen cockroaches as big. The cockroaches were absolutely huge. Smell was awful. But the worst part was seeing people's lives. I mean, you know, I just can't imagine seeing all my stuff.
And there were the contents of the drawers, and the contents of the bathroom drawers, and you know, their novels that had fallen off the bookshelf, which was too warped to hold them anymore, and you know, and just we were sorting through people's shoes and underwear, and then Blistex and toothbrushes, and you'd lift things up, and you know, a gigantic cockroach would scuttle out, and then under the pile of the clothes would be a dead mouse, and it's just like, this was somebody's bedroom.
You clean up a whole lot of debris, and you basically just leave the frame of the house when you're done. So basically you just take all the stuff that was damaged out of it, you separate it into electronics, chemicals, and basic trash. You basically pull the ceiling down and the drywall off the frame, and so that's basically it right there. So it's just completely empty, just concrete and wood, just the frame of the house when you're done.
And it was gratifying because I was in a group with fun people, and we were all in the same boat, and we were working together, and it wasn't my house. So there was one removed, and it was a process that I felt was getting somewhere. Because I know once that house is gutted, it's not going to be torn down. Hopefully that family's going to be able to go to the next step and get back in it within the foreseeable future.
Well, let's see, I ripped up a deck. I cleaned out a little boy's closet. Ripped off some trim, cleaned out a lot of food from the kitchen. And when the cockroaches started flying, I took a break.
Some things have changed. From the last time we were here, there were huge piles of garbage everywhere that just sat and sat and sat and sat. And now those piles of garbage are gone very quickly.
But then to actually see the shell at the end, and you know, for me, when I came back into a house that was fully gutted, for one we did the first day, I just thought, actually, you know, this house is it's pregnant with possibility in the sense that, you know, you could reimagine what life would be like here.
I love New Orleans. I love the city. I love the people that live here. I love the food. I've loved a lot in this city, and to come with a group of people is really helpful. Because on the one hand, I'm very proud of my city, and right now I'm just very sad for it. So with a group of people who are here intentionally to help rebuild it is quite a gift.
There were bishops in town for a series of meetings. Some of them, I think, had actually gone out and done some gutting. And the Bishop of Louisiana was having an event to mark that occasion, bringing people together. My initial feeling was that this was just another thing that was keeping me from what I was doing in New Orleans. But the food was good, and I met a wonderful woman bishop from Maine who I think is going to be involved in organizing a trip down to Louisiana. So that was fun.
It's very impressive to meet some of the bishops this morning who are working here doing exactly what we're doing. 7 bishops of your church coming to gut houses. For me, that puts the whole thing where it should be, in service to the world. So I think this is a great lesson in seeing what the church can become. Actually, if we put our differences aside and respect the differences, but actually say we have common cause and common mission.
Eating raw oysters at Cooter Brown's, hands down the highlight of the trip. Absolutely stunning that you can get, that I could buy 12 crisp, clear, clean, taste the sea oysters. 12 of them for $8 plus a $2 tip. It's fabulous. And after we ate the 12, it was very clear to us that it would have been a sin not to have gone back and bought 12 more. So we did. It was funny yesterday, the homeowner said that he's starting to get his sense of humor back about this. And I think in devastation, that's one place you can go. You know what I mean? Is that he realizes how awful it is. But now humor may be able to help him lighten the load so he can come out of it. You know, he said he'd been really depressed. He said he'd been really just, kind of spiraling downward. And I think that now maybe he's realizing that laughter is one way that we can all keep going.